All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most frustrating headaches in the world of AI right now. And that's getting these incredibly powerful models to securely connect to and actually use your company's own data and tools. Today, we're going to break down a new open standard that promises to be a kind of universal translator for all of AI.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the problem, what I'm calling the AI integration headache. Then we'll introduce the solution, this thing called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. We'll pop the hood and see how it works, compare it to what most people use now, check out some real-world examples, and then we'll look ahead to the future. So here's the fundamental problem. You've got this brilliant AI, right? It's ready to go. But plugging it into your company's actual systems and data, well, it's a complete nightmare. Every single connection is a custom-built, slow, and super expensive project.
And this right here, this visualizes the nightmare perfectly. Just imagine you have N different AI models you want to use, and you need to connect them to M different business systems. You know, your CRM, your database, your internal wikis. The old way of doing things meant you had to build a unique custom connector for every single one of those pairs. It's what we call the M times N problem, and honestly, it's expensive, it's brittle, and it just doesn't scale at all.
But what if there was a better way? This is where the hero of our story comes in. It's a new protocol specifically designed to untangle that messy web of connections and make integrating AI so much simpler.
So, what exactly is it? The Model Context Protocol, MCP for short, is basically an open standard that creates one common language for AI tools and business systems to talk to each other. It was first introduced by the AI company Anthropic in late 2024. And the really key part? It's open source, which means it's all about getting the entire industry to collaborate on one solution.
You know, this is probably the best way to think about it. Instead of needing a whole bag full of different plugs and adapters for all your systems, MCP is like a single, universal travel adapter. It doesn't matter if your AI needs to talk to a database, a file server, or a funky old business app. With MCP, the process for connecting looks exactly the same every single time.
Okay, that sounds fantastic in theory, right? A universal adapter for AI. But how does it actually work? Let's take a look under the hood and break down the core pieces that make it all happen.
So MCP really has three main parts working together. First, you've got the context management layer. Think of this like a scout. Its job is to go out and find the exact information the AI needs for a specific task. Then, the model execution framework is the strategist. It takes that information and figures out a plan of action. And finally, the communication interface acts as the diplomat, handling the secure back and forth between your AI and your tools to get the job done. Now, this is where things get really, really cool. That first step, the handshake. When an AI using MCP connects to a new tool, it doesn't need to be pre-programmed with all the details. It just asks the tool, hey, what can you do? It discovers all the available data and actions on the fly. After that, it's just a simple, standardized request and response. No custom coding needed.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, hold on. This just sounds like another API. And you're not wrong. It's related. But the difference is absolutely crucial, especially if you're trying to build AI systems that are powerful and, actually flexible.
This table just lays it out perfectly. With old-school APIs, you have that messy, tangled web of custom connections. With MCP, you have one standard protocol. Traditional APIs are static. A developer has to read a bunch of documentation and hard code everything. MCP, on the other hand, allows for that dynamic, automatic discovery we just talked about. And maybe most importantly, APIs are usually just one-way commands. MCP is designed for a true two-way conversation, which is exactly how intelligent AI agents need to work. All right, enough of the technical stuff. Let's talk about what actually becomes possible when you put MCP to work in the real world. What does this mean for business?
Think about an AI assistant that can plan your next business trip. With MCP, it could seamlessly talk to your work calendar, a travel website, and your company's expense policy database all at the same time to give you the perfect itinerary in seconds. Or imagine a code editor that can instantly pull answers from your company's private documentation. Or, and this is a big one, a dashboard that lets a CEO just ask in plain English, what were our top performing regions last quarter, and get a real data-backed answer instantly. That's what having a common language really enables. And here it is. This is, without a doubt, the most important question on any business leader's mind. If you're giving an AI this much access to your internal systems, how on earth do you keep your data safe and maintain control? Well, the good news is,
MCP was designed with security at its very core, from day one.
So here's the crucial thing to remember. With MCP, you are always in charge. You get to define exactly what the AI is allowed to see and what it's allowed to do. Because the server component runs inside your own environment, your sensitive data never has to leave your firewall. And since every single interaction can be logged for audits, you can give your AI more power without ever giving up control.
Now, MCP is still pretty new, but it's gaining a lot of momentum. It really feels like it's becoming a fundamental building block for enterprise AI. So, what does the road ahead look like for this?
But we're already starting to see much wider support from big software companies building MCP compatibility right into their products. As it becomes more of a standard, we're going to see the rise of more autonomous AI agents that can handle really complex multi-step tasks. And because it's open source, you have this amazing global community constantly improving it. Honestly, MCP could very well become as common for AI as the USB port is for plugging in our devices.
So really, when you boil it all down, it comes to this one simple question. To unlock the next wave of truly practical, business-ready AI, all of our systems need to speak a common language. They need a way to connect to our messy, complicated world of tools and data. And right now, the Model Context Protocol is looking like the top contender to become that universal language.